Hello, everyone. Welcome to the theynepodcast. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and engage us in the comment section. So we're talking about another shooting at a church in Grand Blanc in Michigan, and this is my first time of hearing about that town. And it looks like they have about 8,000 people as of 2024 in their population record. So it's not a big town, but it's still a pretty significant amount of people living in that town. Shooting is probably going to shatter the community, shatter the people in that environment. As of right now, they're saying that about 5 people already dead and multiple people injured. So this is all craziness going on, as we all know. There's a lot of finger pointing going on. The folks on the right blaming the folks on the left, and the folks on the left saying it's typically the folks on the right doing all the mass shooting. And it's just so unfortunate that a lot of people are missing the whole point. This is one too many. Wherever you are in the country, whether it's a school shooting or a church shooting or a grocery store shooting or anything like that, it shouldn't be happening, especially in a sane environment, in a structured environment like America. But gun violence is one of the challenges that is affecting the lives of the people living in America. I mean, a lot of people will agree that gun violence is a bad thing that should not be happening in any community. It is unfortunate that the Second Amendment supporters will disagree with that. They believe guns are not the problem, and they believe that people are the problem. Two things can be right. People should start really thinking about each other and not just thinking about only their own benefit, only their own rights. You think about the people around you. We have issues in America, especially with healthcare. People are not able to really get that mental health care that they need if they're struggling with healthcare challenges, especially mental health challenges. It costs money. And if you don't have proper insurance, it'll be difficult to get the help you need. So even though you don't have the insurance, some hospitals will still see you. Maybe they won't give you the right treatment that you need, but they'll still see you. If you don't have insurance, they'll still see you. But if you really need help, make sure you ask for help. Yeah. We all should agree that gun violence should not be happening. And we all should also work together to figure out what needs to be done to curb the violence. This violence has been ongoing for a very long time. In America, there's always a shooting at least every other day, if not every day. It's just part of the problem. It's entrenched in the system. Again, the Second Amendment advocates will say, hey, we need our guns to fight against tyranny, to fight against bad guys with guns. But we should all agree that the Second Amendment is good and people should be able to protect themselves. At the same time, there should be proper gun laws in place, and those existing laws should be enforced. And new laws that will curb guns from getting to the hand of wrong people should be widely accepted, whether you support the Second Amendment right or you don't support the Second Amendment right. But the folks on the right want to talk about mental health issue. The folks on the left want to take the guns away. But I think people should just come together and figure out place in the middle. And the people say that the left are trying to take their guns away. It's a generic statement. They don't really have anything to back it up. But we do know that not everyone should have access to guns. Everyone should agree on that. And they can start writing policies, making policies around that so that people with issues, people with mental health challenges will not be able to get access to guns. And I believe this will prevent them from causing havoc in their various communities. What's your opinion on this issue?
Yeah, I agree with you that not everybody should be able to own a gun. Yeah, we know how crazy or how insistent Americans are on their Second Amendment. So it will really be very difficult to find a balance between proper vetting of people before they are issued a firearm or before they sell a firearm to them, and the right is always going to push back. It's very unfortunate that we will not be able to take guns away from people. The Second Amendment is probably almost the strongest amendment in the Constitution, in the U.S. Constitution. So we'll just be praying for a day where we'll be able to do proper vetting of people before they are issued firearm. But my greatest joy in all of this is that the perpetrator of this crime was killed on the scene. And then that's my greatest joy so that he won't, be around to commit another one. Perhaps we see from time to time they claim a mental health issue that is always the reason for them acting erratic. And by so doing, they get off the hook and they escape justice. So in this situation, he was killed on the scene, and then I am glad that he was put down, on the scene. I think one thing we need to pay attention to is our rhetorics. The online place is a very toxic place, especially X is a very toxic place. The kind of conversation that goes on in that place, I don't think is healthy for the unity and then coming together of the people. That place is a very toxic environment. If you have opportunity to get on there, or if you get on there from time to time, literally things that people couldn't say to people face to face, they can get on there and say it. People things that you couldn't say on Facebook, Instagram, any other platform other than X, people get there and then boldly able to make some of these remarks or make this statement. I believe in people's freedom to express themselves, but I also think there should be some kind of regulation on that X space. It's just too toxic for our for us as people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that it's a good thing that the perp was unalived on the spot. But I'm sure a lot of people want to know the motive of the individual that committed this heinous crime. Him not being available will make people add all sort of information on why the perp did what he did. I would like to know his motive. What drove him to go to a Mormon's congregation and hurt a lot of people, unalive 5 people as of right now? It's just crazy. I'm sure a lot of people like me want to know. I want to know what his motive was, and we don't want anyone rewriting the motives. If there's no motive out there, if we didn't have any manifesto out there before doing this heinous crime, people should not be making things up. People should understand that a lot of people in these communities are hurting, and lives have been affected forever. And it's unfortunate. They were there um, to commune. They were there to worship God, and they didn't make it out alive. And the people that made it out alive would also be impacted for the rest of their lives. Their mental health will be affected for the rest of their life. I'm sure they will have PTSD, and it's just sad. And hopefully, the people will come together and find a permanent solution to the gun violence. It's not worth it losing people for the sake of Second Amendment rights. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth it. I'm open to being corrected if I'm wrong, but this is my opinion. I don't think it's worth it. But it is what it is. I didn't grow up in gun culture, so I may not fully understand. I may not fully grasp the whole idea behind the gun culture. But we do know that the Second Amendment right allows people to be able to protect themselves against tyranny, against government overreach, and also against bad people all around.
I mean, let's say hypothetically he wasn't taken care of on the spot. He probably wouldn't have stated his motive.
If they caught him without unaliving him, or maybe when they arrest him, you'll be able to provide some information on why he did what he did. That's my thinking.
Well, I mean, there is no assurance to that. The person that killed Charlie Kirk, he hasn't even stated his motive. The guy that went into Emmanuel Baptist Church, I think, hopefully I'm correct, that killed a lot of black worshippers. There's still not in, motives with regards to that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people knew he was a racist, and going
Well,
into the black church was associated with KKK and
we just
things
believed
like
that, but
that.
he never stated it. It was something that we thought about. He never stated it. The person that killed Charlie Kirk never stated his motive. There's only few instances where maybe some school shooting Sometimes the assailant is caught and then, they're able to state their motives. Otherwise, there has been a lot of incidences where, the assailants are not able to, they refuse to state their motive. Or they could just give you something you want to hear. A lot of times they just want to tell you what you want to hear, what the media want to hear, and the media will run with it. But I think my greatest joy is that he was taken care of. He was, they killed him on the spot, and that is good for humanity. That is good for the state, and that is good for everybody. And I think that was a quick, justice for the victim's family.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's time for people to come together whether you're on the right, on the left, or in the middle. Gun violence should not continue to go on in America. I understand the Second Amendment part of it. I don't really get the gun culture. But at the same time, I believe people need to come together and write policies, making sure we're keeping our kids safe in school, making sure we're able to go out, go to places of worship, go to stores, and not worry about being gunned down, going to concerts, and not worry about being unalived by whoever is planning on doing anything evil. So people need to come together, the government officials, the Congress, they need to write some policies that will protect the lives of Americans. If this continue to go on like it's been going on for years, nothing will be done. I just hope they can come together and do some things and make it work. I mean, there's another opportunity for President Trump to prove that he's American for us. He cares about the people in America and he has all the numbers. Whatever he wants to do, he can make the call. He can tell the people in Congress, tell the people in Senate to pass a, a good gun law that will help people. What the policy will look like, I don't know, but it'll be a great opportunity for him to show that he cares about the people in America. He has the numbers and he can get it done if he wants to.
Yeah, I don't think it serves their purpose. The Republicans or conservative, I don't think it serves their purpose. I think they want to be in a situation where they can be able to bear arms. I think the original intent of the Second Amendment was to prevent government's tyranny, so that the people and the citizens will be able to stand up to the government whenever they want to go rogue. I think that was the whole point of it, which is good. I mean, but I think people should bear arms responsibly. People should be responsible with their firearm, including parents and wards. They should be responsible with their firearms. If you are a parent, have minors living with you, you should be responsible with your guns. We've seen a lot of cases where the kids or the minors take up guns and then kill their parents and kill people, adult people in the household. That is people not being responsible with their firearms. But I hope, moving forward, there will be like some kind of bipartisan approach to maybe tightening up, the process of owning a firearm, maybe by digging deeper, by maybe putting other measures in place to make sure that the person that is purchasing a firearm is actually in a very good state to own a firearm. But I know for sure that this is a very touchy subject. A lot of people, in fact, for a lot of conservatives, this is not a good area. This is not a topic that you should be talking about. But here we are talking about it. But I think there should be a bipartisan approach to it, and then on the two house they should come together and do something about it, because this is just becoming too many for us to bear. Let us know what you think in the comment section. How best do you think they can address this issue of gun violence? How best do you think we can, better the Second Amendment? Let us know in the comment section and we'll be happy to engage with you. Thank you for your support and we'll see you in the comment section.